Team, how are you? Coach Dana Cavalea, and I want to talk to you today about macros. I want to talk to you about one specific macro, which is protein, and that's the one that's always in a deficit for most people. Now, we're going through something now, it's called the coronavirus. Have you guys heard of that? I'm sure you have because it's all over the television, but what I want to talk to you about is this time period. This time period, you know what it'll do? It'll really show you who you really are. Or all those people out there that say, hey, I don't have the time to exercise, I don't have time to eat right, I don't have time to cook, I don't have time to plan my meals, I don't have enough time to sleep in and get enough rest. Well, you're gonna be able to find out right now if you're being truthful to yourself or if you're just an excuse maker, okay? So what I find is there's a lot of excuse makers out there, and well, for many of them, they've run out of excuses. And right now is a great time to make sure that you're taking care of your physicality and your mentality. And today I want to talk to you again about a lesson having to do with macros. What are you putting into this mouth of yours? For most people, there's a lot coming out, but I want to talk about what you're putting in. And the number one macronutrient that is often in a deficit with most people is protein. Carbohydrates, people have plenty. They take in plenty. And if you look at so many waistlines out there, you can tell that there's a surplus of carbohydrates, right? There's also a surplus of fats, which is why the ketogenic diet has gotten so much attention lately. Because we're fat, we have to burn this fat. But I want to talk to you about a macronutrient called protein, which is carbohydrate, fats, and proteins. Those are your macronutrients. But today, we're going to focus specifically on protein. And I'm telling you, most people can clean up their whole body. Don't even worry about the exercise right now, by just making sure that they're taking in enough protein each day. And by taking in enough protein, reducing your starch-based carbohydrates, your pastas, your breads, your muffins, your croissants, and things like that, you're going to see a change in your body in a very short period of time. So up your protein, lower your starch-based carbs, right? Replace them with fruits and vegetables. And your fats will tend to moderate themselves just because the proteins that you're gonna take in are gonna have some fat. The nuts and seeds that you're gonna eat are going to have some fat. So I wanna talk to you about this. I put this little diagram together. Macros, protein. So why do we need protein? Number one, to build muscle, right? And number two is to repair tissue. So every day we wake up, we walk, we move, we just function, right? We're going to need to repair our tissue because tissue breaks down over time. And if you don't take in enough protein, you're not gonna be able to repair your tissue, right? And then cellular repair and regeneration, that's the repair that's going on at the cellular level in which we can't see, but we can feel. So believe it or not, you can reduce a lot of like aches and pains and just feeling not so good by increasing your protein, decreasing your starches and carbs like that, okay? So it's a very simple thing. So we gotta get our protein in. If we don't get our protein in, we're not gonna repair ourselves, and our body is gonna always feel sluggish, it's gonna feel beat up, and never recovered, right? Now, you need more protein if you're going to be somebody that exercises, which I know each and every one of you are. So how much protein? 1.0 to 1.7 grams per kilogram of body weight. So how do we figure out kilograms? We take our body weight, we divide it by 2.2, and that gives us our weight in kilograms, right? So let's use an example of a 200-pound person. 200 pounds. Divided by 2.2 is 90.9 kilograms. Now, protein, we should take in 1 to 1.7 grams per kilogram. So we take that 90.9 kilograms, multiply it by 1.0, which gives us 90 grams, or 1.7, which gives us 154 grams. So for a 200-pound person, we need you to take in 90 to 154 grams based on your activity. So if you're somebody that's not super active, you'd be at 90. If you're somebody that's active, you'd be at around 154. So that's how it breaks down. That's the simple formula. And I guarantee you, if you were to just track the macros that you're taking in per day, you're gonna be coming up way short. You know, there's a lot of apps out there, like MyFitnessPal is one of those apps. There's other macro specific apps that you could download as well. And if you haven't, download MyFitnessPal, it's free. And literally just take 2 or 3 days and see how your macros stack up. Carbs, fats, proteins. And it'll also tell you how many calories you're taking in. Now, I don't believe in doing this long term because, well, we just really are gonna not be able to sustain that activity for most of us. I've seen people do it for 6 weeks. I've seen people do it for 6 months, but it's not something you can do for a lifetime. It's a tool, MyFitnessPal. It's a tool meant to teach you how many calories you take in naturally and what your natural macro distribution is. And what I find is most people eat the same things or similar things in terms of macro makeup as well as portions each week, each day. So you'll get a good idea as to who you are, how you eat, and what you eat. And then you can start to say, wow, I didn't realize I took in so many carbohydrates, and I didn't realize I took in so much fat, and I didn't realize that my protein was so low. And I'm saying that because that's the typical distribution. High carbs, high fat, low protein. That's most people. And what is standard knowledge? How do we improve our physique? Most people say, well, you up your protein, you reduce your carbs, and you keep your fats moderate. That's a macro formula that works for many, many people. And it works for many through the years. It's worked quite well. So I want to talk about this with you and introduce it to you. Download the app, give yourself a look, understand what you're putting in your body, and just by getting those formulas right, you can change your body. You could flush your body of all that extra body fat and crap that's going on in there. And it's a simple, simple formula. Again, I laid it out for you today. Why do we need protein? Build muscle, repair tissue, cellular repair and regeneration. How much? 1.0 to 1.7 grams per kilogram. How do we figure out our weight in kilograms? Take your weight, divide by 2.2, multiply by 1.0, 1.2, 1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, anywhere in that range up to 1.7, and that'll get you the amount of protein that you need per day, okay? So listen, life takes a little bit of effort. You gotta give it a little bit of effort if you wanna get anything out of it. And I believe that if you get this right, your energy's gonna spike, your body fat's gonna dip, you're gonna really like what you see in the mirror, and that's gonna keep you hungry and hungry and hungry for more. And that's the importance of this week's lesson. Don't get lazy, don't make excuses. I have work, my business, that's all crap. And you know it, it's just an excuse. If you put those things ahead of your physicality and mentality, eventually your physicality and your mentality is gonna get you. Stop making excuses. Get to work on your body, get to work on your mind, always be working and strengthening your character. And when you do all that, and you do all that well, you have a great, great, great chance to win. And when you win, that makes you a champion. And those are the people I coach. I coach champions. And I want everybody to act like that, be that, and bring their best self every single day. So let's do that. Let's all put our hands in and let's commit to doing that. Sound good? So this is your weekly lesson. This is Coach Dana Cavalea. I hope you enjoyed. No more excuses. Get your protein up. Get your starchy carbs down. Keep your fats moderate. Get some movement in every single day. No excuses. I'll see you guys next week. See ya.